Hello, YouTube and TikTok. Um, I've been saying that a lot, but I haven't been posting on TikTok recently. I think the last one I posted was last Wednesday. But anyway, it is currently 11:14 p.m. August 1st, 2025, and it is Friday. Well, the last hour of Friday anyway. I wanted to make this video before it gets to 12 because I'm still trying to push myself to being consistent with making these videos. But I would say the morning has been somewhat busy. It wasn't even a payday, but that's next week. Yeah, the true fun happens next Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I would say that this morning has been kind of busy, mostly just uh riding around the neighborhood and a bit of the city on my e-scooter, running errands and whatnot. Well, an errand, but the errand took longer than I anticipated. Um, I showed up a bit too early to the place I needed to go to, and which um instantly reminded me of that saying. What was it? The early bird gets the worm. But I guess for my case, I showed up a bit too early because the is still deep underground. Uh, I feel like that didn't make much sense, but I don't know. Um, I would say that everything is somewhat decent, and I don't really have much of an opinion on August, but I am glad that July is over. Um, Mind you, it's still going to be the weather is still going to be asinine, but it won't be as hot as July weather. And it's like a late family member said, when it is a very cold, no, what would you say? When it's a very hot summer, it's going to be a very cold winter. And this summer has been, has been leaving me and other people melting. So I'm looking forward to the winter for many reasons. Um, but I want it to be ice cold. Like I want Frosty the Snowman to be our friend. If I'm watering the plants, I want the water to be an icicle the second it pops out. That's how cold I want it to be. I want like the breathing to feel like I'm breathing in shards of ice. That's how cold I want it to be. Like speaking of ice, ice will be there'll be ice sculptures. We'll all be ice sculptures. Um, I was saying, speaking of ice, a lot of people like like big things of ice, but I personally prefer, um, and I'm sure many would agree, crushed ice is honestly better. And which it reminds me of this YouTube short that I've seen. Um, I think it was at some bar that I don't remember, but the drink was pretty much a scam because it was a glass with the drink, and the drink barely had anything in it. And then as soon as the bartender put in this huge block of ice, it made the illusion that it was a full drink. And as someone that works at fast food, we don't take it that far, but 'cause we don't have that big of ice, but and we do that. That's why a lot of people want light ice because We very much put a lot of ice in there on purpose, mostly because the machines don't put enough soda in there, and I feel that's also done purposely by design. So anything regarding extra ice, if you didn't ask for it, it's definitely one because the machine didn't put enough soda in there, and two, yeah, it's really to create the illusion that you get more drink. We know that, and the customers definitely know that. um, though I try to be more specific when I'm doing like sweet tea or unsweet tea, because when I'm at the window, I grab the cup of ice, and if the customer wants light ice, I point to where how low should it go essentially. How low can you go? But yeah, and then I remove the rest of the ice out, and then I just fill it up. Honestly, I would say the more ice, the better. And I know that really doesn't make much sense when you're at work because a lot of my coworkers get their drinks without ice. Reason being is because we're in a hot environment, and especially me, because I'm always I have a jacket and a sweater whenever I go to work, so I'm just melting, and I don't have to wear that. That's all purposely. um, but yeah, but like the environment's essentially hot. We're surrounded by like oil and grease and whatnot. So, and they know they're likely not going to be able to drink the rest of it, which is why they have it to where it's no ice, because then it's going to be watered down. For me, I try to drink as much of it as I can and still enjoy the coldness of the ice. That's yeah. Speaking of of work, I was talking to a customer, and she was at the window. I was asking her about her order. It's essentially a wolf was what I saw. A giant dog head just popped up in the back seat, which for like 3 seconds scared me a bit. I was like, "Oh, hello," and we're both just laughing about it. I'm mostly paying attention to the giant dog head. Um, he was whining a bit. He definitely smell food. The dogs have good sense of smell. Dogs have a good sense of smells and smell whatever. Yeah, like he smelled the entire menu through that window. As soon as as soon as I opened the window, the dog immediately popped out. Said, "Ma'am, are you aware there's a wolf in the back seat?" Um, Wednesdays and Wednesday and yesterday was pretty tame, so that's a plus. Um, right now I've been looking into a lot of discussions about AI and whatnot, and how AI is taking over the world and all that fun stuff. And I personally am quite fond of AI, and again, I don't know if anyone like watches these videos from start to finish, but if you are here, hi, and also um there's this game I used to play a while back, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I'm sure that probably created a wave of nostalgia for a lot of you. Um, but if you remember the Murmelair supercomputer, that and Karen, I saw that and I was immediately like, this is amazing." um, oh, normally you don't really have a crush on a computer, but they ended up staying with me for a while, I guess.